Hello, everybody, and welcome to Eat, Sleep, List, your home for list making for the benefit of your mental, social, and emotional health. My name is Matt Johnson, and I am excited to be with you today. If this is your first time with the channel, we thank you for joining us, and we got a lot of work to do. It is Mirror List Monday. What do you say? Let's make a list. So this week's Mirror List Monday is going to deal with ways to relax. We're going to call this the Ways to Relax list. And I think it's ever important in this day and age of social media, of constant just emotional draining, exhaustion, to look and find ways to relax. Stressful times, always, right? And maybe it's always been this way, but with social media being so just part of our everyday lives, it picks and attacks and drives at our every little emotion, sends us into frenzies of all sorts of thoughts and feelings. Work is not really great for a lot of people, financial difficulties. There's so many different layers to what stresses us out. And it is so important to find a way to relax, to try and find a way to relax. Now, obviously, in order to find a way to relax, you have to identify that you are stressed out, that something is wrong. There are all sorts of stressors, as I just mentioned. I deal with stuff at work all the time that's extremely frustrating. And while I'll be the first to admit that, and I will say to you that we can only be bothered by what we allow to bother us, everybody has a limit. Everybody has a certain limit. I try my best to kind of move and cut through a lot of the drama, a lot of the things that do stress me out at a place like work or in my everyday life. Sensory issues, I guess, or overstimulated, I think is the correct term. It's hectic. It's exhausting, and I try my best to cut through, but sometimes it gets to be too much. And I know I gotta find a way to just chill out, do something I love and appreciate, and decompress a tad. So I know I'm not the only one who deals with these sort of things. I may handle them a little bit differently, handle stress a little differently than everybody else, but everybody in some way, shape, or form deals with some kind of a stress. But I cannot stress enough to you that we allow this stress to bother us. We allow these external factors to bother us. But again, we have to know when to start dealing with it. I know when I get frustrated, when I get aggravated, when stuff starts to stress me out and whatnot, I can kind of feel it. You can really feel it. If you just pause, you can feel it. Your heart starts racing a little bit. I know as a person who overthinks quite a bit, I know when I'm stressed out, when the overthinking starts to churn. I know I caught myself the other day just swearing up, like just mentally, like just swearing. There was a frustrating situation at work, and I started muttering like stuff. I'm like, whoa, this is getting really scary. I gotta figure out a way to chill out. It was really not fun. But we have to learn to identify and when we're getting stressed out so that we know that we have to pull ourselves out of the situation or find an alternative way or a healthy way, I think is the most important way to describe it, to deal with these things. Stress is always going to be there. All these issues are always going to be there. But there's a lot of options out there when it comes to dealing with stress. And that's what we're going to be focusing on with today's list. You have to. You absolutely have to. There is an infinite amount of things you can do. It's obviously based on personality, interests, and all that as far as finding stuff finding ways to relax and decompress. I think it's important to just find an opportunity every day to do something that you like. I know since being a dad, my free time has been awfully limited. I'm actually at this studio very, very late, lot later than I probably would have liked. But my priorities are my kid and making sure he's in bed, tucked away, ready to go, and easing stuff for my wife, his mom. So my time is limited, but I make sure to take some time to just have me time, right? We're always going. We're always going. We're on this culture that we live in is so fast paced and quick, where it's bouncing around from the next one thing to another. I know all my life, for the most part of my life, most of my life, it's been like that. In school, right? I would wake up, I go to school, then I have sports, and then I'd have a job. It happened that way in college, or I was, going to school, going to pro wrestling training, going to work, and just so much stuff. I really never had a break, but I had to find ways to decompress and find ways to relax and chill out, because I knew if I didn't, I'd lose my mind. I'd absolutely lose my mind. So it gives us time, really, when we can find ways to relax. It kind of gives us to sit back, realize everything that's going on, and think a lot clearly. Think about things a lot more clearly than when we're stressed out, when we're maxed out. I did mention last week that there is going to come a point where we're going to look at stuff like pet peeves and irritants, things that irritate us, as a way to hopefully, work on those things and get better at them, identify what bugs us, what stresses us out, and work on ways to make that sort of thing not stress us out anymore. But that's a little down the road. Today, we're finding ways to relax. That is the ultimate goal of this, and I cannot stress the importance of this every single day. Every single day. I don't care. Set aside half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour of you time, or you will absolutely lose your mind. I know I've had to. It is beneficial. I will actually stay up later. I know I'm doing this recording lately. I'm doing this recording late on a weekend. But even weekdays, I find ways to just, even if I got to stay up a little bit later, I'm up at 3:30 in the morning every weekday. I just try and find a little extra time, make a little extra time, so I can enjoy myself and say, hey, I found a way to have something good happen today. So I want you to keep that in mind as we're making this list today. So yeah, start to think about that. Start to let your mind churn. We're going to compile a list of our favorite ways to relax. That is the point of today's list. Identify those things. So as I've said, I've kind of preached about, I know the show's still new. A lot of things are, formulating, figuring itself out, but I want something to be taken away from every single list that we do. Some kind of benefit, some kind of pro to your mental health, to your social health, to your emotional health. Something positive has to be taken away. There is a purpose to every single one of these lists that I do, and I'm going to say it a lot. I'm going to say it frequently. I don't do these just to do them. There is a purpose and a bit of an exercise when it comes to making these lists. So as you're getting ready to make your list, I have some lessons. All right. I stressed it a little bit in the last segment. Make you time every day. Every day. All right. If you're waking up and you are, you wake up in the morning and you are stressed from the time you go to school or punch into work or whatever it is that you do, and that level of stress and anxiety is with you through to the end of the day, you're going to have trouble sleeping. You're going to have eating issues throughout the day. I know I'm personally an emotional eater and been a little emotional lately, that's for sure. That is for sure. A little bit of anxiety there. Something I got to work on. Of course, I acknowledge that. it's not healthy. It's not good. You have to find healthy ways to decompress. All right? I'm going to repeat it. Find healthy ways to decompress. What are healthy ways? All right? Healthy ways are just positive things, stuff that legit brings you down and brings you comfort. Unhealthy things, it'd probably be easier to specify this. This is emotional eating. All right? This is drinking, drugs, doom scrolling on your phone. I've actually found that weirdly does not help with my anxiety. It actually seems to make it worse. Again, I can only speak all this stuff. I can only speak from my own experience. I can only do that. Maybe there are people out there that experience this, but I know in my days of social media, when I be bored, when I have a little quiet time, swiping up. Okay, here's a post that draws some emotional reaction from me, drives me nuts, makes me angry. It's just not good. I know I get like headaches when I do stuff like that. You have to find healthier ways to do that. That's what today's list is about. And just make an effort. You got to make an effort. You got to fight for your right to relax. You absolutely do. You have to. If I'm overwhelmed, I'll back myself out of a situation. I'm at the point where I'm almost 34 years old. I don't care if something's not vibing right for me. I'm gonna back myself out and find a way to decompress, to find that relaxation. I'm gonna make an extra effort. I know I can't make good decisions when I'm stressed out. I know I can't say the right things when I'm stressed out. I can actually put myself in an even worse situation than I'm already experiencing. So I will back myself out from anything if I'm just not feeling it. And I'm very, very fortunate that I have a lot of friends that, understand that. I'm like, man, something's not right today. My mentals are not working. So I just can't do this. I can't do this. I can't be a part of this. I'm sorry. And I have great friends that understand that. So, learn to identify. With this list, I want you to learn how to identify when you are stressed. All right? When your heart and mind are racing, just things aren't good. Things aren't right. And you gotta know. You gotta know. Nobody's gonna be able to tell, really. Well, some people can. Some people, if you're close with somebody, they can kind of tell when your anxiety's through the roof or something's really bothering you. But you should be the first person that knows how to reel it in. That I gotta slow down. All right, it's so important. That self-awareness is so important. A lot of people live and are not self-aware of how they are, how they, things that they say, things that they do. A lot of people just exist and they don't try to make themselves better. They can't admit. They have a tough time admitting when they have a problem. And I think learning self-awareness in finding a way to relax is absolutely crucial to just a much better world, a much better world view for a lot of people, and just a lot better mental health. Just take a deep breath and find a way to relax. Those are the lessons from this list. I mean, it's pretty simple. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Making this list is going to be pointing out things. If you can't think of 10 things that you can do to relax, I think it's important to find something to add on to that. Find something that you enjoy that can be your time and help you get through these stressful times. All right, it's time for my top 10. I do want to say I thought about it since the last recording. I don't think I'm really comfortable doing a Patreon for my own top 10s. I'm going to include them in these videos for the foreseeable future. I don't know what came over me. But there will be means for you to support the show for the time being. Just like the video and subscribe to the channel. That would be immensely helpful for helping this channel grow. There will be opportunities to contribute to the show down the road. We're still getting this thing started, still working out everything, flow. This episode recording is actually going way better than last week's three. I recorded 3 videos for last week. So we're working out some things, but we thank you, everybody who's supporting, liking, and commenting, and subscribing. It really means a lot. This is a big undertaking. It's been a while since I've really been in front of a camera, comfortable for being in front of a camera. So every little bit of positive vibe coming my way is immensely motivational and helpful. So I thank you. But yeah, so I'm going to go through my top 10 list of ways to relax. Hopefully I can spark some ideas for you. I can spark some motivation and maybe find a new way to relax, because everybody has different ways. Everybody has different things that they like. But here are my top 10. Here we go. Let's make a list. My number 10. When I'm feeling stressed out, it's a little difficult to do this, but I find a way to sleep. I find a way to find some quiet space, quiet room, peace of mind, and I find a way to sleep. I notice that unless my mind, like when I wake up after a nap, unless I force myself to start thinking about these said problems that have stressed me out, I'm usually in a pretty good mood. My mind sometimes tends to wander. Like I'll wake up from a nap and I'll go, my mind will start thinking instantaneously about, in my mind being me, whatever was stressing me out, whatever was irritating me. And it stinks. That's an overthinker's mind. But sometimes if we take a nap, our body really resets, our mind resets, and we can focus our mental energy on thinking of something a little bit more better, a little bit more calmer. Sleep is like the most simplest thing you can do. Obviously sometimes stress can affect sleep, but even just a 15, 20-minute nap can make you feel immensely better. Your body just relaxes, it decompresses, and it's basically a reset, right? Every time you wake up, it's a new chance to do something positive, right? Every day's a new chance like that. Number 9. My number 9. I'm sitting in front of a microphone right now, and this hobby I picked up, I talked about before, is podcasting. Podcasting has been immensely helpful for relaxing, relieving stress. I actually picked it up as a way to be therapeutic. When I first started podcasting, I wanted to talk football with people. And I would try to via social media. And obviously, I'm sure many people can attest to this. Having a meaningful conversation on social media is rare. It's almost impossible. I'd give opinions on football stuff, and people would just say, "Hey, that's a really bad take. Stop talking football." And amongst other things, sometimes it can get really nasty. But that shouldn't, I want to talk about football. I want to express my feelings about football. So that's why I created a football podcast, and I took all those lessons that, I'm having all these awful these conversations are going nowhere. Somebody looking you right in the face, you don't know football, you don't know ball. I hate that. I absolutely hate that. If I'm passionate about something, I should be able to talk about it. So that's why I created podcasting, where I could, if something was on my mind, I can pick the guests that I bring on. I don't do the ESPN argument thing. That is not my forte, but I can pick a guest on that I can have a meaningful, good conversation with and get stuff off of our chest. And it has been so nice. I've recorded probably a couple thousand podcast episodes in my lifetime, almost 1,000 of that old football show, and I've done 100 here, 100 there on various other shows. It has been so helpful for me to relax, and Eat Sleepless has been a part of that. Recording the podcast there, and this has been, this show has actually been very helpful too. My number 8 is let's go on a bike ride. I got back into bike riding a couple years ago, and it's crazy. It's what's crazy is how quick we abandon bicycles. Most people do, right? You get a car, the bike's basically out the window. When you're young, your main means of transportation is probably a bicycle, maybe a skateboard, a scooter, some rollerblades. I know Niagara Falls, where I currently live, there's way too many potholes and chipped sidewalks for rollerblades, but a bike is a very nice means of transportation. As soon as I got my car, that was out the window. But I did find recently that bike rides can be really enjoyable. I use them for working out in that case, but there's a lot of really nice places where you can just take a bike and just go riding through it and just enjoy all the scenery. Go travel and adventure. And I love when the weather breaks so I can go and do that. I'm actually looking forward at the opportunity to do that once all this snow goes away. But yeah, going on bike rides is a really nice means for finding relaxation. Again, exercise, relieving stress, but it is peaceful. You can either go with somebody or go on your own. I tend to find more peace when it comes to some of these things, doing it on my own. And bike rides are kind of like that. Bike rides are one of those things for me. Number 7. Walking around water or waterfalls. I love water. Love to drink it. Love to swim in it. And I love to be around it. I don't know what it is about water. It's just something so peaceful about water. I love those little fake pseudo waterfalls that people have with the fountains they put in like their backyards. I absolutely love those things. I'm obsessed with water and being around it. It's a really relaxing sound effect, really nice nature sound. And I just find so much peace being around water. Being in Niagara Falls, it's not very hard to find. It's not hard to find water. The falls, the actual physical Niagara Falls is maybe a 5-minute drive for me. And I can just go and walk down. I can go with somebody or I can go with myself and just go there and feel and feel. You can really feel the noise of the falls going over. It's actually really tremendous. I hope everybody gets to experience that. Or my favorite spot, which is actually the Eternal Flame Trail in Orchard Park, Chestnut Ridge Park. You can actually go up to and like touch the waterfall. You can lean on the waterfall, and something I'm absolutely obsessed about. It brings me it's peace. It's wonderful. It's something that I really, really enjoy. Haven't had a chance to go down there in a little while to Eternal Flame Trail, but it is one of my favorite spots. It's a wet hike. It's a very easy hike, but it's very wet. And but it's a beautiful scenery. You go first thing in the morning, and I can't wait to do that again. Number 6. This is something I picked up a couple years ago as well. It had been on my mind for a while, but I received it as a Christmas gift. But a kayak and going out kayaking. This goes right to being on the water. My love of affinity of water. There's a lot of very cool kayaking spots around here in Western New York. And I've visited a handful of them. Seen some really cool things. There's some really nice ones in downtown Buffalo where you can go by abandoned factories, which is really cool. There's some really cool, creeks and all sorts of areas. And it became this really nice thing that me and my dad got to do. My dad got a kayak, and we just kayaked together. And it's really peaceful. Just go out, bring some snacks, bring some drinks, and just go out and just relax. It doesn't even have to be a workout and a strenuous activity. just go out and just be on the water and paddle, and it's really nice. It is really spiritually rewarding, just kind of going out there, especially when you go so far and you just kind of sit and soak it all in. It's beautiful. All right, my number 5. We're moving right through this video. I'm loving this. Play video games, and there are a lot of video games that I can say. I play video game is a big part of my life. I'm not like a streamer, but I've been playing video games from a very young age. There's pictures, it's actually pretty cool. There's pictures of me with my dad. He was playing an Atari 2600, and I'm sitting right on his lap. So I was basically a gamer since birth. I'm not like a diehard. Like I don't I don't have to have the newest system, but if I find something I enjoy, I'm going to play it. And actually, there is one video game that I found a lot more relaxing than every other, and it's Minecraft. So I'm going to point that one out specifically. If I'm stressed out, I have like this, there's like a creative urge inside of me for some reason. Like, I got to do something. I got to channel whatever is on my mind. And playing Minecraft is actually pretty rewarding in that regard. One, the music is super peaceful and it's very soothing. And two, just being able to build stuff. Like, all right, I'm frustrated. Let me go build a village in Minecraft. And that may seem silly to some of you, but I can assure you that it has helped me relax on many different levels. I have it for multiple consoles, the Switch, PS3, PS4. And it's one of those really nice, relaxing games. You can go at your own pace. There's not a whole lot of stress. Just go in creator mode and just build. And I highly recommend giving that a shot. For anybody who hasn't, Minecraft's been out for a little while. I'm sure everybody's seen it or playing it at least once. But if you haven't, I invite you to give it a shot. My number 4. It's writing. It's writing whatever it may be. Journaling is something that I've always wanted to kind of test the waters in, and I have a little bit. Writing for this show, I find a lot of relaxation in writing for this podcast, this video, every single week. Planning it, it's a really nice time where I can just relax, settle down, plan what, and really think about what I want to talk about with this upcoming week's show. When I was younger, I used to write stories. I used to put myself in various fictional universes, things that I enjoyed, put myself in various adventures, and it was fun, especially now looking back at some of those, and you can kind of see where my mood was changing, right? Where my thoughts and feelings were at any given time. Writing has been such a really nice thing. It doesn't have to be this public information. You write, I've written for my own benefit many times over. I love to write stuff, love to write stories. I was very fortunate. Tank Talk podcast, which records out of this studio, they asked me, he gave me an opportunity to blog, type up blogs and whatnot. And I was really happy to do that. It was really relaxing. So writing is my number 4. It's a really nice thing to do. There's no guidelines or anything for it. Just sit down, pick up something, put up a laptop, get a notebook, notepad, whatever it may be, and just start writing. Number 3. My number 3 is listening and relaxing to music. Putting on some headphones and just kind of blocking out everything, right? Blocking out anything that's really overstimulating and listening to relaxing music. Various types of stuff. There's all sorts of nature sounds. There's classical music. And this is going to sound funny to you, but I am a big fan of Weather Channel Local on the 8's music. I know it sounds goofy. There's YouTube videos of all these classic songs on there. They are bops, and I will stand by that. And I find some peace and relaxation listening to that sort of stuff. Classic, jazz music. Nothing that really accelerates the heart rate. Like, I'm not looking for workout music if I'm trying to relax and vibe. I'm not looking for high-paced, high-energetic music. I need stuff that brings me down, calms me down, and helps me relax. Number 2. This is something I haven't done in a little while either, but I really enjoy photography. And going out on my own or with a friend, usually on my own, on some kind of photography adventure is wonderful for the mind, body, and spirit. It is to be out there and just absorb nature, right? Just be a part of nature and try and find cool ways to, ways to take cool pictures. You're letting your creativity out. You're out in nature, which is often pretty relaxing, and there's just and it's a go at your own pace type of thing. It is one of my favorite hobbies. We'll do a hobby list too, but nature photography, like going out in nature and doing photography, or even going to a city. It doesn't have to be nature specifically, but going to just take cool photos and just look when you're all said and done. Go look at what this piece of art that you took a picture of, that you essentially created, is nice and relaxing. I personally prefer, again, taking pictures of waterfalls. I think there's really cool ways to do that. I like motion, and architecture and all that stuff. But photography has been a really great hobby and a great way to chill out. And my number one, which actually is going to lead us into our Fun List Friday topic for this Friday, is read a book. I don't get a lot of quiet time, as I already stated in this video. I don't get a lot of peace and quiet. My wife loves to talk, and my baby loves to. He needs me. He needs me all. He needs my attention, and I'm more than willing to give it to him. Reading a book, I need absolute silence for. There was a point where I was bringing a book to work, and on my breaks, I'd go sit somewhere by myself and just chill out and bang out a couple chapters. All right. You have to be in the right mindset to read a book, I feel. Some people can do it, in any sort of situation. My cousin actually can do it while in the car, which is just mind-blowing to me. I can never do that. But, when you're relaxed or trying to relax, you really put yourself in the headspace of a book. You're in the zone of a book. You're focused on the book. The book is the world, and it has been a very helpful thing for a way to relax. So there it is, everybody. The ways to relax list. All right. Once again, make sure you like, subscribe, tell a friend, and have fun making your list. All right. Again, me talking about my list is not a way to just to brag, to show off. It's a way to stimulate maybe conversation, a connection between yourself and I. It's a way to spark some ideas, spark some memories. All right. Oh, well, yeah, I do like doing this to relax. Okay, here, let's put this on the list. The list is basically acknowledging things, right? The list is half the battle, right? Half the battle in anything, especially Mirror List Mondays, where we're trying to identify things. We're trying to point out things that we could do better, or maybe set goals or whatnot. A list is to formulate that and put it into perspective. So, it's work. I can't stress enough. Go find a place to relax and go compile your list. Put it in your notepad on your phone. Write it in a notebook. Share a friend you trust. Or you can email me, which I love, and I would love to give feedback on. eatsleeplistpod@gmail.com. And, that you can submit it there. You can put them in the comments at your own risk. I can't promise that, people won't come and harass you, even though the harassment shouldn't matter as to what your opinions are on these various lists. So thank you so much, everybody, for tuning into this video. Thank you for the support. I love and appreciate each and every one of you who give me even a minute of your time. It is it really means the world. So we'll be back on Friday for Fun List Friday. Until then, do you even list?